do this.
June is sipping?
One of them days.
Is everything okay?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fran Presents the Play Call. Going with the team again, another wonderful week. What's going on, y'all? June, how you doing?
I am amazing. Couldn't be better. I could be better. But I could complain, but I wouldn't do us any good for they used to tell me.
Yeah, I guess. Bree, how you doing?
I'm doing better now. I had some malfunctions trying to make some Easy Mac, but it tastes good. And I'm doing pretty good, out here in Pensacola, making friends, having a good time learning. But I miss my dog so much.
I bet. It's like missing your kid, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, the animals have an attachment. You know what I'm saying? They have an attachment. And, that's what it is. When we don't have children,
He walks to the room at least 5 times a day looking for me, my mom and my dad.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's missing you. He's missing you. So the reason I was laughing when you was dancing, because you remind me of Ava. Ava be doing that when we listen to music and stuff. So that's why I was laughing. But anyway, another week, right? Another week. Not too much news. I don't think it was that crazy this week. A lot of speculations, a lot of tweets.
Y'all don't have Twitter, go get Twitter now.
Yeah. Man, a lot of tweets. So what we got first on the agenda?
First, what we have, it is not NFL related, but I feel like it should be talked about because I was just like the happiest person ever when I saw this, right? Because I feel like sometimes like I go crazy on Twitter, but no, we had June tweet on Twitter, and I meant to bring it up last week, but I forgot all about it, right? So I guess it was a tweet about Edwin Diaz, the baseball player. I forgot what it was. All I know is June's tweet popped up on my timeline where he had Twitter fingers. And you know how me and you, Frank, we be going off on people on Twitter. And I was just like, not June getting rowdy on Twitter.
Breaking out his shell.
Yes, but I don't remember what the original tweet was, but June's tweet was, I believe your cultural ignorance has written this tweet and tried to disguise it with injuries of Freddie Freeman and Edwin Diaz. Given your credit in the sports world and background in sports journalism is a bit disappointing that you will be labeled this as meaningless. I said, get him, June.
That was from the pitcher, right? Jumping up and down when he celebrated and hurt himself for Puerto Rico.
That was. Yeah. And the sports analyst that used to work at ESPN that, I forgot his name.
He made a comment in regards to so Puerto Rico just beat Dominican Republic. They were celebrating, right? The relief pitcher came in and he hurt his knee, blew out his knee. And all he's doing is celebrating. He was just dancing. And then he said something about these players and playing in a meaningless game, right? Like the World Baseball Classic. And now you're out for a whole season, stuff like that. I mean, if you want to elaborate on.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. I know it's not the NFL, so I don't want to dive too much into it. But it's more in the sense of like talking down the tournament, right? And I think it exposed how big it could get. When you're playing for your country and how much it means. Whether you're playing for the USA or you're playing for Puerto Rico, it's crazy the amount of viewers and the attention that it got. And for him to try to, belittle it the way that he did, to me, I was just like, man, it's like a slap in the face. Because, it's pretty big, you know what I mean?
It is.
I like it,
No, it is a slap in the face, and I think it's a slap in the face because it's one of the few times that you get every country playing baseball that wants to play baseball, and they come together, and it's a pride thing. It's more of a pride thing for your country, to represent your country, to be recruited by other countries to come to their team to play, kind of like the World Cup, except not as big, you know. But it was big, and the ratings and the views that the World Baseball Classic got was up there. It was up there. It was significantly up there to people to recognize it.
June was telling me that.
Yeah, it was in the millions. Like
more and more and more and more and more.
it is. His ignorance shown when he
Yeah.
said that. I found it a little bit offensive. Honestly, I found it as if and I hate to do this because I really didn't want to, but when you speak about the World Baseball Classic, is a lot of foreign countries or minority countries in there. And you got a guy saying that it's meaningless because now a pitcher is going to be out the whole season for celebrating in a meaningless game. It's not meaningless. If you go out and you win it, that's bragging rights. That your country that you represent, your flag won it. And I mean, I guess is he American?
The
Yes.
journalist?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's white. Yeah,
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
He
it's-
is.
So for a person
Extremely.
that's a colonizer and never, for a group of people that came here and took away from another set of people and call it their own and then get mad when other people try to do it, it's very hypocritical. And since he has no sense of pride in what a flag means to us from other places that have that sense of pride, you could expect that from him. But it doesn't matter. We won that game at least. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So what's up, Bree? What's the next thing we got on the agenda?
You're so I did not expect you to say that.
Listen, sometimes you got to say what's out there, man. And you know, we don't do it on this topic in this show. You know, when we go live, we talk about different things, but in this topic, we keep it to sports. But there is times where that part of our lives and our world crosses into the sports world. And you know, I guess as I'm getting closer to retire, I could really give two lessons of what anybody thinks. At the end of the day, in this country, we have I find there's a big hypocrisy on how people forget how people ended up here. Not just, you know, not the natives that were here, you know, how people ended up here. And a lot of these shows coming out now, you see it like 1893, 1990, whatever, 23, all these different shows. They're showing how, people came here and try to tell another group of people, you're wrong for praising how you praise that way. You know, like that's crazy to me. But anyways, let's stick to sports. That's for another topic, another day. Bree, take it away.
Okay, so the Cardinals are asking for second and third round picks for DeAndre Hopkins. So they're basically asking for a Christian McCaffrey type of package where the Cardinals or the 49ers got Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers are getting a second, third, and fourth round pick in this draft for Christian McCaffrey. So there are some teams that are interested in DeAndre Hopkins, but are teams willing to give up multiple second and third round picks for him? There's speculations of what teams. There's no official team, like no official teams came out, and he has not met with anybody officially yet, except for the Bills. We know he met with the Bills. That's the only team he officially met with was the Bills.
So I think that I think teams are going to make the push after the draft. I think a lot of this stuff after the draft, because I mean, I'm not saying that you're going to find a DeAndre Hopkins type of wide receiver in the draft. However, you can probably find something to complement another, and you find them gems. I mean, the Steelers have done in the past with certain gems they found. Burris, what's the dude that caught the pass in the end zone from Big Ben? Antonio Holmes. Yeah. And of him. So you've had people that you find out there. You know, look at Tyreek Hill wasn't a number 1 first round pick. I don't think he was. He was a gem, you know. So I don't know. I don't think is what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think that it's asking for too much. A second and a third. I mean, you could have a second round pick and a bottom third, and
it's multiple seconds and thirds for this draft, and then
no.
Yeah. So they're asking for second and third round picks. So probably like this year and next year. So 2 second round and 2 third.
Oh, not doing it. I wouldn't. I would give you a second or third this year, or a second this year and a third next year. or maybe a second, third with a compensatory pick next year if he plays a certain amount of games. But I'm not doing that. No, look, I like DeAndre Hopkins, but it's not. He's been hurt. Actually, I don't think he has been hurt. He was suspended for the Peds, but other than that, it came off injury though. He was rehabbing an injury or surgery.
Yes. And so end of 2021-2022 season, he got injured.
Mhm.
And then the Peds situation, and then he played, but then he got hurt again.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That's too much. June, what you think?
I think it's a win-win for Arizona. I think if they don't get a deal, they still have a good team. They get Ertz back after his surgery, healed up. They'll pick up a receiver more than likely somewhere in the draft or free agency. It's kind of to give that number 2 and number 3. Still have Hopkins, still got Kyler Murray as long as he could get right. And then you got Gannon. I don't know what he's gonna do, but then you got Gannon. So I think it's a win-win. Now, if it does happen, then they win anyway, right? Because they get those draft picks and what's his name? Hopkins gets to go to a team, hopefully, that's gonna give him a greater shot of winning the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I
think Arizona wins all over again.
Yeah, well, they're the winners regardless because they're gonna get picks or they keep a good wide receiver. And is Hopkins asking for a trade or are they just willing to trade him?
No, he wants to trade.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, he wanted to leave. He made a goodbye Instagram post.
That's right,
Because the Cardinals didn't make the playoffs, so he made a goodbye Instagram post.
You know what's crazy is that he wants out and you don't hear much about it.
But he's also quiet with his stuff too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's very like quiet, preserved. He don't want his name or his business out like that. It's only post about me when I pick a team and when I leave a team. That's it.
He also has an agent too, so it makes it easier.
Oh, was that shots fired?
That was fired. Yeah. He has an agent. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, take a page from him, Lamar.
Yeah, for real. So what else?
Oh, sorry. If you want to share your screen or
you got it because I be forgetting. Pull it up. Hold on. All right, it's all yours.
Look for this.
All right, so this picture, these are the quarterbacks that have been moved this offseason. So we have Jimmy G from the San Francisco 49ers to the Raiders, Derek Carr from the Raiders to the Saints, Andy Dalton from the Saints to the Panthers, Sam Darnold from the Panthers to the 49ers, Baker Mayfield from the Rams to the Bucks, Jacoby Brissett from the Browns to Washington, Taylor Heineke from Washington to Atlanta. Then we have Marcus Mariota from Atlanta to the Eagles, Gardner Minshew from the Eagles to the Colts, Mike White from the Jets to Miami, Stidham from the Raiders to the Broncos, Chase Keenum from the Bills to the Texans, Kyle Allen from the Texans to the Bills, and PJ Walker from the Panthers to the Bears. Now, out of all of these quarterback moves right here, which move do you think will be the most successful for this person's career and the least I know half of them are going to be, backups, but which one sticks out to you the most in a positive way, and which one is like, he should have stayed where he was at because he probably could have got more playing time, if that makes sense.
So we're looking at best, right? At best, you're looking at Jimmy starting, Derek Carr starting, Baker starting. If Brock is not back and Trey is not ready, then Sam Darnold probably will start. Andy Dalton right now probably be the starter. They don't get drafted quarterback. Brissett might be that guy. I don't know what they're doing down there. Heineke's got the battle with the rookie. PJ's going to be a backup. Kyle Allen's going to be a backup. Case Keenum might be a starter in Texas. They don't find somebody.
Maybe. Exactly.
Stidham is a backup. White's a backup with potential to start because he can't stay healthy. We know Minshew. Well, I mean, the Colts don't have a quarterback either. So Minshew could potentially get that spot. And we know Mariota's going to be a backup. So out of all the guys starting, definitely for sure, the person that I think has the best upside, man, I'm gonna say Derek Carr because of what the Saints have. They have a good defense and they have some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. They've had a consistent program down there. And we saw them last year have little chances of flash, even with the issues at quarterback. So, and they still got the Swiss Army knife Hill down there. So I think he has the best upside. And I think the downside is probably going to be, I think Jimmy's going to struggle in the Raiders because they don't have an offensive line. They don't have a strong defense. I think he's going to fit into the system, but I think overall he's going to struggle. I mean, but he probably wouldn't be a starter anywhere else unless they would have, like the Colts would have took him or something. But so I think Carr has the ceiling, the high, and Jimmy's probably the low. And if it's not Jimmy, I probably will go with Baker Mayfield if he can't get it together down in Tampa.
Yeah, I think all the quarterback moves. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead, Brie.
Oh, so I was gonna say out of this list, one good move that I think is actually a pretty good move is Mike White to Miami, due to the fact that we don't know how Tua is gonna play and perform. And Mike White is actually a good backup. And let's say something happens with Tua, God forbid, what, but we're not gonna bank on, Tua after what he was dealing with last season. I think that's a solid backup, right? Now, if we're talking starters, right? I somewhat agree with you when it comes to Derek Carr, but I somewhat don't agree with you when it comes to Derek Carr because we don't know if Michael Thomas is going to be 100%. We do know that Alvin Kamara still has to go on trial and probably is going to go to jail. We don't know that yet, but we will see. And then also, I think Andy Dalton to the Panthers was a good smart move too. Andy Dalton's he's not that bad, and you already know how I feel about Sam Darnold, so I'm not even gonna speak about him. You already know this. It's one blood right there. But I also think Andy Dalton's not a bad move either. So yeah, I think majority of them are good. Marcus Mariota, I know I'm a big fan of Marcus Mariota. I think that he is a backup quarterback, but him being Jalen Hurts' backup, I think that's good too. Mariota, he's not bad. And also, if needed, being if Jalen Hurts do need breaks in the pockets, I think connections from Marcus Mariota to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith will probably be fucking magnificent to watch as well. So
he definitely has the experience that I think Minshew didn't have. June?
The more and more that I think about it, I think the best quarterback move, which is gonna sound crazy because you know how much of a fan I am of this guy, is Derek Carr. And that's because of what you said, right, with Taysom Hill. He's getting help where he probably didn't expect it, if that makes sense, right? So instead of saying, yeah, they're getting him another receiver, you actually got another quarterback that's going to take a lot of that pressure away from you when stuff hits the fan and another part of that playbook that they're going to add to your career. So I think that Derek Carr move to the Saints is actually, excuse me, the dog's trying to get in my opinion, is probably the best move on here, followed by the Mike White to Miami. That kind of solidifies the flat tire, so to speak. They'll patch it up really quick and they have to worry because it could go more than 50 miles an hour. So that's just my take on this. And then they did name the rookie in Atlanta the starting quarterback over Heineke. But that's just my take on this. I think it's dope. I like all the moves, but those are my 1-2s.
How do you feel about the Mariota to the Eagles move, him being the backup for Jalen Hurts? I don't know if I missed that part.
It's kind of crazy, right? Because we wanted him back when Chip Kelly had the Eagles, and at that time the Eagles were offering two first rounders, Fletcher Cox, and a second or third rounder for Marcus Mariota, and the trade was declined. Right? They didn't want it. Obviously, it paid off in a good way, because came the Wentz era after that.
Mhm.
So I think it's a good move. Even though he's like on the downhill, if something were to happen to Hurts, I think he'll fit in. Probably not as great, but a lot better than what Minshew did when he was there, just based on that similar set of skills that they have over there.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. I have another thing to share. So I'm gonna do like topics and then share stuff. So I talked about this in the chat. I already heard Frank's take, but RG3 tweeted, Joe Burrow is an amazing quarterback. He also has the best receiving targets of anyone on this list. Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and Rodgers would all have greater success with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd to throw to. Then a Cincinnati fan tweeted and said, I would argue O-line is more valuable to a quarterback than wide receivers. RG3 then responded with, Bengals decided to go all in on weapons when they drafted Jamar Chase instead of an offensive lineman. They decided to go for more weapons and less protection. It worked. They went to the Super Bowl and the AFC Champion game twice. Their quarterback just gets hit a lot. Consequences. Do you agree with RG3?
Me or Frank?
For both of you guys.
You can go first. I put my
All
answer.
right.
You go first.
I think it's kind of false. I think out of all of them, I personally think that Allen had the better receiver core. And Allen just he threw away his opportunities over what's his name, Joe Burrow. So I will argue different. I do think that the O-line is more important and more valuable. I think it gives the quarterback an opportunity to be a quarterback and make the right decisions, rather than let me just hurry up and scramble or whatever the case is, right? Even if your receivers run the wrong route, as long as you got that good O-line, you're gonna get what you're looking for. I think a good O-line and a decent running back will beat two alpha receivers all day.
So I agree with you as far as the O-line goes. I told her that to me it was evident in the Super Bowl they lost. If they had a better O-line to protect them just a few more seconds, he could have got that ball to Jamar Chase, and we would never been talking about Stafford being a Super Bowl champion. We've been talking about Burrow being a Super Bowl champ and put him up there in the conversation with Mahomes, and he didn't have it. And I also said that we see a lot of great quarterbacks with the offensive line that can protect, go through the progression of all their receivers and find it. And they did it with okay to good receivers. And I use that example with myself. We've seen the Steelers do it. It's just once you have that protection, like with the Pats really had that big name receiver to Randy Moss, and that was short-lived. Everything they did, I mean, Brady went to the playoffs with Danny Amendola, Danny Woodhead, and Julian Edelman and Deion Branch. None of them were 6 feet tall. So if you let that sit in, he went to the playoffs with receivers less than 6 feet tall, but he had a good protection, he had a good system, and he was able to get the ball out. So me personally prefer an O-line over having big name receivers, because with the O-line, you're protecting the quarterback. We saw Mahomes against the Bucs in the Super Bowl with no O-line, and what happened? He was running for his dear life back there. So I don't agree with him as far as the receivers. Now, don't get me wrong; those three receivers help, and Jamar Chase is by himself is a talent out of his world. He's top 5 wide receivers, arguably top 3 in the league. But O-line definitely makes a difference.
No, I agree. And I
agree.
think O-line makes a difference as well. I'm not going to sit here and say go for more weapons and less protection. And, they basically, they had like, oh, these are the consequences, but it's going to be okay, because at the end of the day, you want to be successful, but you want to be successful and healthy at the same time. I don't think the Bengals' whole thing was, okay, we're going to get wide receivers, but Joe Burrow, if you get hurt and get sacked 25 times in a game, it's okay. We have good wide receivers. So I don't know where he was going with this tweet when it comes to that. So we have some news. Veteran wide receiver Marvin Jones Jr. headed back to the Lions, where he played from 2016 to 2020. Sources says it's a one-year deal with $3 million base value with incentives that can get pushed to $5 million. First base.
No, you said Ronald Jones. I forgot the name.
Marvin Jones Jr.
Oh, he went back to the Lions.
Yep.
I think that's solid.
Yeah.
It's a good deal. It helps.
Damn.
I think it's a good look. The Lions, listen, they weren't that bad last year. I think if you get that defense to be able to be better and stop people from putting up points. Look, the first game of the season, they lost by 3 to the Eagles. By 3. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, let's be honest, the Eagles was the team to beat in the NFC last year. Hands down. So for a team that was going 0-16 and 0 and this and 2-14, it's you gotta give credit where credit's due. So I think it'd be good. He's familiar with the stadium, the team. I think he'd be fine. I think it's a good. He's a 1-year deal is not bad for him. He's not trying to break the bank at this point. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think with Calvin Ridley being there, with good Lord, what's the other receiver's name that did pretty good last year? The rookie.
Saint.
I forgot his name, but Nicky. I forgot, but Nicky used to say it all the time. But with Ridley, with him, with that receiver that I ain't got his name in my head, there's no way that Marvin Jones would have been a number 2 or a number 1, which he was the previous year. And he's not a bad receiver. Put the icing on the cake. You need a halftime performance to do the same. So, I think it's good for the Lions. Shit, man, the Lions are stacking up. You know what I mean? They are stacking up over there. Quietly, they're not making too much noise, but they're making enough for people to be like, hey, we serious. We're going to pick up right where we left off.
The only time they really made too much noise was the CJ Gardner-Johnson, but I feel like he was bringing all the attention on him in that move via social media.
June, was it Agnew or Zay Jones?
Zay Jones.
And they got Christian Kirk too. So I mean,
yeah. Man.
And they also now have Calvin Ridley. Don't forget.
And they re-signed Ingram.
Yeah, it was a good move for him. It was a good move. I think he was always a solid receiver. Always, Yep.
So these last couple of weeks, I keep Ian's Twitter up on my phone, and that's why I slowly moved over to the notebook for the main reason. So I could just keep refreshing in case breaking news happens, because it is the off season, and we want to be the first people to report it.
Yeah.
So next, players are allowed to wear the number 0 except for offensive and defensive linemen. And so far we've seen Calvin Ridley snag the number 0 for Jacksonville Jaguars.
I mean, I don't have a way to feel about the numbers. I know when it changed, Brady and a few other players said that it was crazy because that's how you identify the mic, or you identify certain players on the field. And we had a conversation about it on the podcast. We talked about it, and I said, when you've been playing football for 30 years, when Jesus was walking the earth, Brady, you can identify the mic with no matter what jersey number by the formation and what's happening. So I think it's dope. I think that now you're giving the diversity of players. And I like the fact that really said, yo, give me that number 0. I'll take it. I like it. I'm with it. I like it.
100%. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Eagles for making that proposal. And it being passed. So big shout out to the mighty flying Eagles, Super Bowl 52 champions, with an appearance 52-56 short. So I think that the zero thing is I think it's up. Hey, Agent Zero. You know, I've been dying to call somebody Agent Zero since old buddy in the NBA. So
I guess people
now
be like Jason Tatum and wear the number 0, but it's okay. It's okay.
I don't even know his number.
I just said it. I said everyone wants to be like Jason Tatum and wear the number 0. So clearly he wears the number 0.
See?
June. And so you're rocking the
I'm talking
Celtics
about
colors.
this is Kelly Green, but I'm talking about what's Arenas, Gilbert Arenas.
That's funny.
Okay. Anyways, another tweet from Ian Rappaport. It's a video, but I'm not going to play it. But the headline of the video says, regardless of when the contract extension happens for quarterback Jalen Hurts, the Eagles are all in on their franchise guy. Do you think, it says Eagles GM Howie Roseman planning on Jalen Hurts' new contract to be done relatively soon? How much you think he's going to get?
It's going to be an extension, right?
Mm-hmm. An extension,
Yeah.
to his rookie contract.
And he's on what year now?
3. Well, he just completed 3, so year 4.
He's on
Yeah,
year 4.
this is last year.
Yeah, so they do it now or pick up the 5th-year option. And with the market the way it's going, I see him getting about $200 million, but a 3-year extension, probably fully guaranteed. So you figure they do that.
He deserves it. I wholeheartedly feel he deserves it.
I mean, but I think that's cheap. If we do the math, if fully guaranteed $200 million over the next, let's say they extend them 3 more years, that means they got the 5th, 6th, and 7th year on top of that, and it counts in the 4th year, right? Because they're doing it before. So that's 4 years. That's $50 million a year. That's not bad. That's only $5 million off what most people are getting paid now, and you're getting him young. And if it's fully guaranteed, listen, no matter whether he gets hurt or not, that money's mine. So I think they should.
Yeah. I mean, well, he was drafted in the 2nd round, so he didn't have the 5th-year option.
Exactly.
So now this is just his last. Yeah, so this is his last year now. It's going to be an interesting deal. But from the Eagles reports or whatever, that Paul guy, very credible guy.
Is he in front of yours?
He is. He really is. He is saying that Jalen is not about the contract. He is about the contract, but he's more about the players, right? Because he's trying to win that ring. So if that is the case, I love it. And I mean, he deserves whatever he gets. You know what I mean? He's never in the news. He's a humble guy. Progress is there, and it shows. So I'm excited. I'm excited for him.
What do you think that says about him as a player? That he's
a humble. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's a humble guy. He reminds me of the Brady's and the Bens and the OG players who are not money hungry, not a Kyler Murray, not these players that are demanding higher contracts because you had one good season. That shows that, he's very humble. He knows what he's doing, and he's about his team, his players, and winning versus he is about his money. He knows the money's going to come, regardless of how much he makes. He knows that he's going to be able to support himself and his family as long as he gets the job done and makes that organization proud, and that's what I like about him.
Yeah, I agree. It makes him look like a team player. And I hate to do that because, with the whole Lamar situation going on right now. But I'm a believer you want to win a game. Football is different, man. And all of us on here has tasted a win of success for our teams winning a Super Bowl. And it's hard to maintain a level of success in the NFL with free agency. June's team experienced it. They went to the Super Bowl, had a great season. What happens? Oh, I want your players, right? And to maintain that level of success is hard. So when you got a player like Jalen saying, listen, man, I'm not really all about the money. Yeah, the money does matter, but I'm not trying to break the bank. If we can keep people here and bring what I need in to win, then I'll take this. And I think that's a man that understands that once you win that chip, now you're writing your own ticket. Now, as the face of the team, look what going to 1 did for you. Imagine going out there and winning it. You know what I'm saying? And now you can say, listen, I Whether they want to sign you for more money, another team is going to pay you the money. So I think it's good. I like to see that. I like humble humility. I like people that, you know, understand. Yes, this is about money, but it's also about winning, and are willing to do what it takes to win. You know.
Mhm.
Definitely, and I think when the locker room itself respects you the way that they do, given the last 2 years, I think it says a lot too. You know, you don't hear. I haven't heard no negativity at all. You know, I haven't looked for it either. But normally that negativity pops out or whatever the case is, and you're like, dang, he's really like that. Normally, you know, well, lately, you know, the trend is always that positive energy that he brings to the locker room and that leadership role that he takes personally. So I give him a shout out for that.
I mean, he probably, you know, the other thing is he probably has an agent.
Oh
Right.
gosh!
But
Hey, is she? And, and she's a
he
hey, and
does, and
she's a
it's a
female
woman.
too.
Yep.
Mhm, it's
Yeah,
a woman.
it's a grown ass
Period.
woman.
Mm-hmm. Just saying, hey, something there's a theme there. They have agents. They have agents. What's next, Bree?
Yeah,
Bobby Wagner returns back to Seattle.
I think that's good. I think
I
that's good.
think that is. I know that's not like too big news, but
Nah,
it
I'm
sounds.
happy for him. I'm happy for him.
Mhm.
yeah, 7 million. I'm kind of upset we didn't give him that just because.
I mean, he's still a good player. I'm not saying that he's the old Bobby Wagner, but with your team, man, y'all
Right.
got too many pieces that a player like of his caliber and his age doesn't have to be the main puzzle, the main piece to the puzzle. That's good. That's okay. Um, because you want that. You want the guy that you could bring off the bench or, you know, bring in on certain situations to create havoc. And not only that, distract from your other players to make a play. So, but he's back in Seattle with the 12th man. So congrats to him and good luck to him next season.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Brett.
you
Oh,
know,
go ahead.
I was gonna say something because you just brought it up. I was gonna say it last time I forgot. Um, you know, to add key pieces and to add key pieces that bring leadership and that veteran mindset while still keeping the key players in their prime. I think that's what the Eagles are trying to do and are doing. They still have the prime pieces in there, but are adding veteran leadership in those positions
Mhm.
to you know to mastermind that key role.
And mentor, 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 teach. You know, just imagine a young linebacker under Ray Lewis as he's exiting the game, and now he's living.
Right.
He's not as fast as he used to be, but he doesn't need to be because he knows where the ball's gonna be. So he could anticipate the route or the play. And when you have a young guy that you can teach that to, so you know, you take a guy with speed and strength and agility, and he's young and he's hungry and he's sometimes maybe getting too jumpy, and you got a defender or another veteran player that to say, listen, look at your corner. When he's in front of you and he's lined up like this, look at his feet. If he does this, that means he's gonna take this. So you might want to bump him and go out. That kind of stuff is what them older heads bring, you know, to the team. So sometimes you want to keep a few in your roster just to help out. You know, every once in a while, throw them the ball, defend them, put them on the field, but really for that training piece, it makes a big difference.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
A letter to my fans.
Is that
I
my
want to first
Instagram?
thank you all.
Oh,
A letter to my fans. I want to first thank you all for all of your love and support you consistently showed towards me. All of you are amazing, and I appreciate y'all so much. I want you all to know not to believe everything you read about me. Let me personally answer your questions in regards to my future plans. As of March 2nd, I requested a trade from the Ravens organization, for which the Ravens have not been interested in meeting my value. Any and everyone that has met me or been around me know I love the game of football, and my dream is to help a team win the Super Bowl. You were all great, but I had to make a business decision that was best for my family and I. No matter how far I go or where my career takes me, I'll continue to be close to my fans of Baltimore Flock Nation and the entire state of Maryland. You'll see me again. Lamar Jackson.
So Lamar, man, he's been talked about so much this week. I think he's at least
This month.
well, no, I think it's even gotten worse. Like I think he has 2 or 3 or 4 takes now per episode, or per talk show. Hey Philly. So I
He
watched
was scratching at the door for you, or he was already in your cave?
He's scratching the door.
he wanted to come hang out. So I tell you what, I think he's getting a little bit too much now. I think he's getting a little bit too much. I think when you have the NFL Player Association sending a letter out saying that Ken Francis is not to be talked to, then it turns
Which
out
he denied, Lamar denied, and Ken Francis also denied. They said
Yeah.
they're just business partners.
exactly he's in helping endorse one of his workout products that I saw the video for. I probably wouldn't buy it if I did work out. Then you him retweeting because Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, said something about his durability and the fully guaranteed contract. That you're doing a lot of tweeting and not enough people. You don't have somebody representing you, and it's getting kind of ugly now. It's kind of getting messy. It's getting to the point now that what makes you different from some like a Kyler Murray. I don't know. I really feel like at this point Lamar needs to stop. You did request a trade on March 2nd. We didn't know about it, but guess what? You don't have an agent. So if you had an agent, we would have known about it. You took the nice route. You showed up for practice last year, OTAs, training camp. You played, and then you're arguing with an owner. You're replying back to an owner of a team, and you're trying to find a home. You don't really do that. You don't want to piss off these owners because at the end of the day, they're the billionaires. They're the ones that they hire you. It's a business. They don't have to sign you to their team. Look at Colin Kaepernick. So, I don't know. It's just getting messy, man. The whole injury prone thing. Listen, I don't want to. He had years where he was healthy. Yeah, he wins 75% of his games, but like they point out and speak, his numbers have dropped.
They have, and he's been injured in the times where it mattered the most.
Actually, the guy that's filling in for Dave Hellman on Speak, he brought up the fact that his numbers this last season compared to Deshaun Watson's numbers his last time he played were lower than Deshaun Watson's numbers when they were talking about the money. So
yeah.
when you look at what a person was doing at the time they stopped playing, if his numbers are better than yours, are people going to take a chance? Again, don't count another man's pockets. And another team's desperate measure doesn't mean another team, every other team is going to do it. What's her name? Joy Taylor was like, oh, well, he set the standard. The Deshaun Watson, that's the market. No, it's not the market. That's not the market. That was a desperate act by a team that now is restructuring his deal to be able to keep people. And next year, they're going to get hit even harder with the salary cap. So how is that the norm? Deshaun, stop tweeting and get a damn
Lamar.
Oh, yeah, Lamar, sorry. Stop tweeting and get a damn agent, man. I'm sorry.
Agent.
Just stop.
He also tweeted yesterday, I don't remember me sitting down on my guys week 1 versus the Jets to week 2 versus the Broncos. How come all of a sudden I sit out because of money in which I could have got hurt anytime within that time frame? We all know the Super Bowl been on my mind since April 2018. Let's get real. I'd rather have 100% PCO than go out there and play horrible, forcing myself to put my guy's in a bad situation. Now that's selfish to me. He tweeted that last night at like 10:58 Eastern Central because it was at 9:58 p.m. over here in Pensacola.
Doing too much of this. Stop
Mhm.
stop tweeting. Stop it. Get yourself an agent because right now you're potentially looking at setting out the season. And if we're looking at teams to bring you on, let's say the Patriots were even remotely interested, because Ninkovich wants the Patriots to do it. Ninkovich's like, I don't care if Mac Jones' feelings are hurt. This is business. That's not how you're gonna get on a team that prides themselves on not being public about all their stuff. You got to watch how you move. And if you had an agent that can tell you, Lamar, put the effing phone down, go play Madden, play Call of Duty, do something, go work out, take a vacation. When you come back, I'll have a contract. No, he doesn't have nobody. And his mom, I'm sorry, she's not. You know how I feel about parents with agents is how I feel about parents as trainers for boxers.
But his mom isn't his agent, that's his manager.
Well, his manager, but she's the one that's also been talking to the teams. So when you have family members, and the reason I go to boxing, right? I believe in June. You watch boxing, you can chime in. One of the reasons I would never have my father as my trainer in boxing is because I need at a certain given time for a person to make a decision, not based on the fact that they're my parent. I go back to the Tito Trinidad and Bernard Hopkins fight. He asked his father, "Am I winning?" His father said yes, and he wasn't winning the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't. He needed somebody to be honest with him at that time, not sugarcoat it. And I think that when you have family members, they're greedy too. I'm not saying his mom is, but let's be honest. A lot of these athletes, their families live off of them. You know? Oh, yo, you made it? Oh, bro, listen, let me be, you bring everybody in. So of course it's in their best interest for you to get a fully guaranteed $18 billion deal. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? They're going to eat too. And the agent's only getting 10%. And the agent's going to make sure that everything you want and need is going to be in that contract. And the agent's going to tell you, listen, this is as good as it's going to get for right now. But if you're young, and if you take a fully 3-year guaranteed deal, you got to think in 3 years, the market's going to be reset because Burrow's got to get a contract. Jalen's going to get a contract. Herbo's working on his contract. All these guys are going to get their contracts. And once they get theirs out the way, you can come back and bust him over the head twice. But he doesn't have that. So stop tweeting, bro. Stop it.
Period.
I don't know, man. This Lamar thing goes back. How far does it go back? Because you remember we were so tired of it even in the beginning.
I want to say I think it went from I think it started when right before the season started they
oh my
said
goodness,
there's 33 million.
right.
He turned it down. He turned that deal down and said no, that's not enough for me.
That's right. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's been almost a year. It's been a year. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. My math class, I ain't gonna lie, I got a D in math class, and I'm gonna estimate. If it was 9 months, I'm gonna estimate all the way a year. So anything above 5, you estimate up. So I think that I think he dug himself a big ass hole. Like I said last week, he dug himself a hole, and now he's trying to dig himself out of it. I don't know. At this point, still they stay with the Ravens. Get paid less than Donnie Dimes, and make best of that 31 million, and whatever it is he's gonna get this year. Unfortunately, it's only 31 mil. And let's see what you got, bro. You know what? I mean, I'm rooting for you. I know what you can do in the field. Stay healthy, do your thing, prove the haters wrong, and earn that $300 million contract you asked for next year, fully guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
And get an agent.
I agree, June. Tell him again, June. Get an agent.
Tell him again.
Get a damn agent. Now, I'm not gonna get into that. We could discuss that another time. Go ahead.
But that's all we have. I don't have the game at all, but I think that was really, really good. That's all we have. Hopefully we get more news. Hopefully we get some more Aaron Rodgers news. hopefully we get the final chapter of Lamar.
Oh, that's not gonna be no
And
time.
the draft is also next month, so we should be hearing a lot more about these college.
What day is the draft exactly?
The draft is going to be on Thursday, the 27th, Friday, the 28th, and Saturday, the 29th.
It starts Thursday. Okay. No, because
And I get my keys on April 26th, and all my stuff comes on April 27th. So hopefully, I'm gonna have my Wi-Fi and everything set up so I can watch the draft at my new home.
no
That's
doubt.
dope.
Let me see. NFL draft. I'm putting in my calendar so I don't have to keep asking. Oh, if mine's it from last year with the Zoom, remember? Video call.
No, it was 2 years ago when Zach Wilson got drafted.
So
And last year was fun
right?
too. Last year was fun too.
PM.
I made Frank laugh so hard because it was when it was just me, you, and Frank on the podcast. So it was me and him on Zoom by ourselves, and we watched the draft together. I don't know what you were doing, Drew, but me and Frank watched the draft together. So when Zach Wilson got picked by the Jets
last year?
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. It was the 2021 draft, and Vargas chimed in and was like, "We go to the Super Bowl. We go to the Super Bowl. Yada yada yada." So then he got off, and I looked at Frank. I was like, "Is he worthy enough to put in the notes?" And Frank just started laughing so hard.
No. I'm thinking about something. I want to talk to you guys first before we do it, but stay tuned. We'll put it out for sure when we get closer to that time.
And that is it. I'll go first. I'll close out first. Another great week. Nikki, we miss you. Come on, hurry up and come back, girl. And great week. It was good topics. Not really too much happened since last time we recorded last Thursday, but still some good things to talk about. I'm still going to find more things to talk about, even if we have a slow week next week as well. Always a pleasure doing this with you guys. You know, this is my favorite day of the week, talking about football 24/7 with you guys. I can do it all day, every day. And I hope everyone has a great day. Make sure you hydrate, drink water. I got my water in my cup because I got PT tomorrow. We running because we didn't run on Tuesday. So stay hydrated, stay safe, and I hope everyone has a fantastic and a blessed week.
Hey, another great week. Thanks, Bree, for the topics. I mean, there's so much we can talk about, and there's a little bit of things that we can talk about that mean something. So I appreciate the topics. Hey, stay tuned. We're gonna have some more coming up, like create a Facebook page that we'll share as far as with the Twitter, maybe even updating more statuses on that, pictures that we've taken in the past, maybe some lives straight from that page, not my page, and we could talk football more often. So enjoy it. Stand by for that. We'll let you guys know via Twitter and Facebook when we do it. Thanks for listening and watching Fran Presents the Play Call. June?
A pleasure being here. I talked to Nikki briefly yesterday. She said that she apologizes for all the Eagles negativity that she spoke all year. I'll let her finish the rest, but there we go. Nikki, I said it. That's my dog barking in the back because probably Amazon is coming. But let's see what transpires. Hopefully we'll have some type of we didn't talk too much about Aaron. So hopefully we have some type of news with that. Yeah. But it's good to see you guys ultimately.
Tune into next week. This is Fran Presents the Play Call. Later.